in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama.
How do you even stop a 7'5" alien who swats your shot like it's nothing, snatches the rebound, dribbles coast to coast, and then drills a step-back three, all in one play? Every single game, he does something that makes people's jaws drop. Even when he's supposedly off, he's still throwing up 24 points, grabbing 12 boards, blocking shots left and right, and scaring anyone who dares to attack the rim. That's why everyone's hooked on Victor Wembanyama. The guy was hyped as the best prospect since LeBron James, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Just his 7'5" frame alone made the whole world stop and stare when the San Antonio Spurs called his name as the #1 pick in the 2023 NBA Draft. Expectations weren't just high, they were sky high. When he landed in the US, he was already a global sensation, riding a massive wave of hype after those jaw-dropping exhibition games against the G League Ignite the previous October. But with all that buzz came the big question everyone whispered. Could that slim build really handle the brutal grind of the NBA? How fast could a teenager really adjust to a whole new continent, a new culture, and the toughest league in the world? Well, Wemby didn't just adjust, he dominated. In his rookie season, he averaged an insane 21.3 points, 10.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and led the entire NBA with 3.6 blocks per game. The so-called skinny teenager didn't just meet expectations, he blew them to pieces from day one. Fans were in awe, teammates couldn't believe it, and even NBA legends had their eyes locked on him. Then came his 5th NBA game, when the 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama proved why he was being called one of the most hyped prospects in modern basketball. He exploded for 38 points and 10 rebounds, carrying the Spurs to a 132-121 win over Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. The Spurs came out blazing, building a 27-point lead in the first half, and still holding a solid 14-point cushion entering the fourth quarter. But then things got tense. The Suns clawed their way back, tying the game at 116 with just about 4 minutes to go. That's when Wemby flipped the switch. The rookie buried a clutch three, knocked down 3 free throws, slammed a powerful dunk, and drilled an 18-foot jumper, all part of a wild 12-0 run that sealed the win. Even Durant couldn't hide his respect. You could tell he knew he'd just witnessed the rise of something special. His energy for the game, you can feel it through the screen. Facing him on the court, you just know he's different. He's not copying anyone. He's carving his own lane. And honestly, they're right. There's no one like Victor Wembanyama in the league. No one even close. Even NBA legend Paul Pierce jumped in on the conversation, telling Kevin Garnett that Wembanyama is already one of the top 5 most talented players in the NBA. That's a massive statement from a Hall of Famer. So what really separates Wemby from everyone else? It's how he turns that unreal body of his into pure basketball art. He's got the handles of a point guard, the shooting touch of a forward, and the movement of a complete all-around star. And remember, this guy stands 7'5" with an 8-foot wingspan. If he rises up on his tiptoes, he can grab the rim without even jumping. That alone is wild, but what's crazier is watching someone that tall break ankles on a crossover and then calmly drain a deep jumper like it's nothing. That's not normal, it's otherworldly. Nobody could have dreamed up a player like this, but somehow, here he is. And just like that, Wemby's already putting himself in conversations with the game's biggest legends, and they're the ones praising him. Picture this, a late-season clash with the New York Knicks that instantly turned into an overtime thriller against Jalen Brunson. The Spurs came out on the top with a hard-fought 130-121 win, but the real spotlight, Victor Wembanyama's mind-blowing stat line. He dropped 40 points on 59% shooting, knocked down 4 of 9 from deep, and hit 10 of 12 free throws. Oh, and just to make it sound unreal, he also snagged 20 rebounds and dished out 7 assists. That performance put him in elite company. He became the first rookie since Shaquille O'Neal over 30 years ago to post a 40-point, 20-rebound game. And get this, he's the first player in Spurs history to ever record a 40-point, 20-rebound, 5-assist masterpiece. His cold-blooded moment came in overtime when he buried a dagger three to give San Antonio the lead for good. "Fires for three," the announcer shouted, and the crowd went insane. Wemby's a beast in the paint like Shaq, but he's got that deep shooting range and smooth perimeter game that makes you forget he's 7'5" until he slams one down right over two defenders. As jaw-dropping as his offense is, his defense might be even scarier. This man wasn't just the best rookie, he looked like a future Defensive Player of the Year in the making. Wemby wasn't just making noise, he was making history. He became the first rookie since Tim Duncan to earn a spot on the NBA All-Defensive team, and that alone says everything about how dominant he was. But February 2024, that's when he went completely off the charts. Against the Toronto Raptors, Victor dropped a triple-double with 10 blocks. Yeah, 10 blocks, alongside 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. That was the first time anyone had swatted 10 shots in a single game since 2021, and since blocks were officially tracked back in the 1973-74 season, only 4 rookies have ever done it. The last one, David Robinson in 1990. And if that wasn't wild enough, he became the first player since Hakeem Olajuwon, yes, the Dream himself, in April 1996 to post at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 blocks, and 5 assists. That's not just rare, that's once-in-a-generation stuff. But the legend kept growing. In late February, after an insane back-to-back set in California, Wemby joined yet another exclusive club. He became only the second player in NBA history to record 5 blocks and 5 steals in back-to-back games, sharing that list with none other than Michael Jordan. The crazy part? MJ pulled that off in his 3rd season. Wemby did it as a rookie. And as if that wasn't enough to blow everyone's mind, in the second game of that back-to-back, he pulled off a 5x5, joining Jamal Tinsley as the only rookies in NBA history to do it. Every night he stepped on the court, he wasn't just playing basketball, he was rewriting the record books. A 5x5 means at least 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks, all in a single game, and Wemby did it like it was nothing. What's even crazier, he played only 31 minutes, the fewest ever in a 5x5 performance. At just 20 years old, he became the youngest player in NBA history to pull off that insane stat line. When his second season rolled around, the dominance didn't stop, it only got scarier. Wemby's versatility was on full display as he continued to rise into basketball's rarest air. In an early season matchup against the Utah Jazz, Wemby went off again, another 5x5. This time, he stacked up 25 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks, leading San Antonio to a commanding 106-88 win. That put him among legends. Hakeem Olajuwon still holds the record with 6 career 5x5s, and only Andre Kirilenko and now Wemby have managed to record multiple ones in NBA history. That's elite company. And as much effort he pours into defense, blocking shots, stealing passes, and locking down the paint, he's just as lethal on offense. At only 20 years old and 314 days old, Victor became the 4th youngest player ever to drop 50 points in a game, sitting right behind Brandon Jennings, LeBron James, and Devin Booker. A 7'5" player scoring like a guard and defending like a monster. That's not talent, that's pure basketball evolution in motion. Wemby didn't just make history, he rewrote it. He became the tallest player ever to drop a 50-piece, doing it under 33 minutes. That's unreal. And get this, he's also the first player in NBA history to record multiple games in a single season with at least 20 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 5 made threes. That's not human-level stuff. That's alien territory, and that's exactly why they call him the Alien. On November 11th, in a 121-117 Spurs win over the Chicago Bulls, Wemby once again showed everyone why the hype is real. He went off for 38 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 6 threes, all while hitting 6 threes like a sharpshooting guard trapped in a giant's body. The Bulls were up 104-91 early in the 4th quarter, and it looked like the Spurs were done until Wemby took over. He rattled off 10 straight points, hitting a cold fadeaway jumper, and then splashing a deep 3 to pull San Antonio within 3. Then, with just over 7 minutes left in the final stretch, Wemby pulled off an absolutely ridiculous moment, stepping up and drilling a clutch three right over Nikola Vucevic to tie the game at 114. The crowd lost it, the bench went wild, and Wemby once again proved he's not just tall, he's terrifyingly unstoppable. Right after blocking the shot on defense, he turned around and splashed the go-ahead three on the other end like it was nothing. But just as things were heating up, Wemby's 2024-25 season was suddenly cut short due to deep vein thrombosis, a scary setback for any athlete. Still, when he returned, he wasted no time reminding the world who he was. Kicking off his third NBA season, the 7'5" phenom came back in full beast mode, averaging 26 points, nearly 13 rebounds, 4 assists, and more than 3 blocks per game, while shooting an icy 50% from the floor. When Wemby catches fire, he's the kind of player who makes you stop whatever you're doing just to watch. He's got that same kind of magnetism Steph Curry had during his Heat check years, or even Michael Jordan in his prime, when every possession felt like a highlight waiting to happen. But here's the real test of greatness. It's not just about domination when things are easy, it's about how you respond when the game gets gritty. The greats show up when defenses start bumping, trash-talking, and trying to throw them off rhythm. And we've seen that side of Wemby this season too. Take that early November battle against the towering Houston Rockets squad. San Antonio had just come off a blazing hot 5-0 start before hitting a 2-game slump. Everyone was watching to see if the young superstar could weather the storm. And oh, he made sure people got their answer. By halftime of that Rockets matchup, it looked like the Spurs were staring down their third straight loss. Wemby just wasn't himself. He'd only scored 4 points in the first half and seemed completely out of rhythm. Houston's defense was swarming him, bodying him up, and throwing him off his spots. Mentally, it was like Ime Udoka's defensive scheme had him trapped. Every move he made felt dictated, every drive cut off. Instead of attacking the paint, Wemby started settling for jumpers, staying away from his usual spots near the rim. But then came the third quarter and everything flipped. The hesitation vanished. Wemby snapped right back into attack mode. He started punishing the Rockets' pressure, turning their physical defense against them. Suddenly, he was back in control, moving smoother, thinking sharper, and taking over like the superstar he is. In that second half alone, he dropped 18 points on 6 of 10 shooting, leading the Spurs to a clutch 121-110 comeback victory. The crowd could feel it. Wemby was back in full force. But just when it seemed like he was becoming unstoppable again, bullying defenders, bending games to his will, and doing things that still don't make sense for someone that size, his season suddenly hit pause. During a mid-November matchup against the Golden State Warriors, he went down with a calf strain. On paper, it sounded minor, but around the league, everyone knew what that could mean. Calf issues in the NBA, they're not just calf issues, they're warnings. Fans remembered Kevin Durant's nightmare in the finals with Golden State, and even Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton last season. One wrong step, one rushed return, and a simple strain can turn into a torn Achilles and a lost year. The Spurs weren't taking any chances. They shut Wemby down right away. There were no heroics this time, no rushing back early, no risks. The Spurs made one thing clear: Victor doesn't step on that court until he's 1,010% ready. For a moment, the conversation around him shifted. It wasn't about how high his ceiling was, but how fragile even a generational talent can be in this brutal league. When reporters asked Wemby in December if he believed he could instantly regain his dominance after missing several weeks, he didn't hesitate for even a second. "Of course," he said confidently, "even better." That's the kind of mindset that should terrify the rest of the NBA. Surprisingly, the Spurs managed to stay afloat without him, mostly thanks to their explosive new three-guard combo holding things together. But let's be real, they still badly missed Wemby's presence. Without him, San Antonio's defense completely crumbled. They dropped from a top 5 unit all the way into the bottom 10 before leveling off around 16th overall. The numbers said it all: no Wemby, no wall at the rim. But once Victor came back, even while easing into limited minutes off the bench, everything changed fast. Their defense shot right back up, and suddenly the Spurs were sitting 5th in the entire NBA in defensive rating. It was like flipping a switch. Offensively, though, the team didn't skip a beat either. With their full rotation finally back, San Antonio climbed to 6th in offensive rating. Yet everyone knows Wemby's real power still starts on defense. From the day he entered the league, he's been erasing offenses like a human cheat code. At this point, watching him take over both ends of the floor isn't even shocking anymore. It's just Wemby being Wemby. What's truly wild isn't just that Wemby dominates, it's how fast it happens. The moment he steps onto the court, everything changes. You can literally see the other team's confidence start to crumble, like they're realizing in real time that their game plan doesn't work anymore. There's nothing else in basketball quite like it. Just look at his first game back against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The defending champs came out blazing, building an 11-point lead and getting whatever shots they wanted. But then Victor checked in, and suddenly OKC looked completely lost. Missed layups, blocked jumpers, panicked passes. It was like they'd forgotten how to play basketball. And this wasn't just some random mid-season matchup either. This was the NBA Cup semifinal in Las Vegas. The Thunder were hungry for redemption after losing in last year's title game, but Victor wasn't having any of that. In only 21 minutes, he posted a team-best 21 plus-minus. First game back, no warm-up, no ramp-up period, just straight domination. Afterwards, Spurs teammate Devin Vassell summed it up perfectly when he said once Wembanyama's back to full minutes, the league is in trouble. And honestly, he wasn't exaggerating one bit. When reporters asked Victor what it meant to close out a massive win over Chet Holmgren and the team everyone's been chasing, he kept it classy at first. He said it felt incredible, talked about how good it was to fit right back into a system that had evolved while he was sidelined. But then, with that signature calm confidence, he dropped the line that had everyone talking. Then came the moment everyone remembered. With the cameras flashing and the reporters hanging on his every word, Wemby smiled and said it straight. "We're not chasing anyone, they're chasing us." That line hit like a thunderbolt. In just a few words, he flipped the narrative. No longer the rising star chasing greatness, but the force everyone else is trying to catch. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Every time Victor steps on the court, the game bends around him. His mix of size, skill, and swagger makes even the best teams look ordinary. From his freakish defense to his smooth step-back threes, he's rewriting what a basketball superstar can be. The scary part? He's still only getting started. The league is watching closely, players, coaches, fans, because it's clear that Victor isn't just a once-in-a-generation prospect. He's becoming the standard. Every night, he's building his own legend, one impossible play at a time. If you've been riding with us through this story, don't miss what's coming next. Smash that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment below about your favorite Wemby moment. And hey, share this with every Hoops fan you know because we're just getting started with the legend Victor Wembanyama.